And I think in our minds, Bodhi said that we kind of felt guilty. In our minds, we just assumed that the Japanese people hated the people from the U.S. because of that. And
I can't believe that this was built. But I think that it is a testament to, I think, what I would say as an outsider, to the Japanese character. It's very pragmatic.
Where are you from?
The United States and then Colorado.
Why did you choose to come to Hiroshima this time?
For the atomic bomb, for the whole historical component of that.
Yeah. There's an atomic dome there.
Yes.
Did you go?
Yes, we just finished a walking 2.5-hour tour of a walking tour, a historical walking tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, how was it?
It was good.
Really good.
She, the gal who did it, her grandma was a survivor, and so she was very passionate and had a lot of stories to tell. So it was really good, yeah.
You went to the memorial museum.
Yes, yeah.
How was it? How did you feel?
I got a little choked just listening to her tell the stories, the story of the little girl with leukemia and the cranes, and so yeah, it brought out some emotion. She kind of got a little choked up and felt a little sad, and it's just kind of, we studied this in our history books in the United States, you know, the bombing, and then to be here and see it just, it's kind of hard to describe how you feel about it, but...
Is it different before the impression?
It just makes it so much more real.
Yeah.
You know, when you read something in a book, it's different than when you're walking the streets and stuff. So yeah,
true.
We've really enjoyed it. I was super glad we came and did it.
It was really cool. Almost, for me, it's almost like just guilty, because you almost feel bad. Even though I wasn't a part of I wasn't around at that time, but just being here, it makes it seem like how real it really is. And when you read it in high school textbooks, it's nowhere near the same.
And I think in our minds, Bodhi said that we kind of felt guilty. In our minds, we just assumed that the Japanese people hated the people from the U.S. because of that. And the way, at least the way our guide described it, was that at least her grandmother hated the Japanese government and the way they handled it. Like, they weren't blaming the people in the United States, they were blaming the government officials. And in the United States, we kind of feel like Japan should hate us for, so that was a little bit of a shock that that wasn't there. Obviously, it's a lot of years later, so hopefully Japanese people don't hate us now. But yeah, so.
Do you think the world is now peaceful?
Like the whole world?
Yeah, whole world.
No.
No.
I think that there are a lot of people that are trying to go that way, but there's still so much war and so much, when you look at the Middle East, and so much hatred of this religion hating that religion, and so I think we have a long ways to go. I think that there are definitely people who are trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, worldwide, no, I do not think so.
So how do you think we can make the world more peaceful?
I think it comes down to kind of what we're doing, traveling to different places and trying to see how different people live, and in doing that, going there with an open mind. I think that's the only way we're going to come close to getting there.
I think it's kind of same as her, like getting to travel and actually go to other places and see them, because when you're only in your country and you don't experience other ones, there's a kind of a sort of ignorance that comes from that. You just don't know, and like coming to Japan and getting to experience this, it's very like awakening in a way, just like how like impressive the culture is and like how amazing it really is to be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your time. Oh, where you from?
Sydney, Australia.
Sydney. Ah.
So it was 35 degrees, and we
Wow.
said we cannot wait to go to Japan where it's cooler.
You didn't go to the Peace Memorial Museum?
Not yet.
yeah?
Not yet.
Not yet.
This is the first part of our walk.
So this is your first thing to see, right?
First,
This is
Yes. So we like
Major
to,
stop,
Yeah, major stop.
Yeah. So we
How
like
did
probably the
to.
most important one.
Yeah.
We like to come and then we read about what we're seeing. We look at old pictures and we take some time when we're here. We want to think about what happened.
Yeah.
It's inconceivable when you think about that. It's just absolutely inconceivable. And then we start to think about such a horrific tragedy. And then look what was rebuilt again in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And just the resilience of the people. I think a lot of the times these days when people are hurt or wounded, suffer trauma, they tend to become victims
Yeah.
and live as victims. And, whilst we can all be victims and are at various times, but we need to build, we need to live again.
Yeah.
And that is truly, it's what I'm seeing when I look all around.
What about you? What did you feel when you look at the building?
It's just really hard to imagine that this is still standing, honestly. It's impressive that it's been rebuilt in what seems like a really short time for
Yeah.
this sort of thing.
So you didn't think that Hiroshima city is rebuilt like this before coming?
If you didn't,
Not really, no.
you didn't
What was the impression of Hiroshima before coming?
I don't know what I was thinking, but of course I knew there was a city here, obviously, but it's one thing to know there's a city and it's another one to actually see it and you go, I can't believe that this was built. But I think that it is a testament to, I think, what I would say as an outsider, to the Japanese character. It's very pragmatic in that, okay, this has happened, but we now need to do something else. We need to move on. We need to continue living. There's a different mentality, and I think the Japanese have a very special mentality.
How do you think to make the world more peaceful?
I think the interests in not making it peaceful are too strong.
yeah, you have to
There's-
get rid of that first.
You have...
Then you build.
I don't think that at the political level, at least behind the scenes, I don't think there's an interest in peace.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it starts... Well, it's two ways. One, it starts at an individual level. Like what I like about, let's say, Australia to this point, it's a multicultural society. And it works for the most part, I would say. There is a shared set of values.
Yeah.
You can be who you want to be, providing you're not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
And we follow the rules, we respect each other, we respect public places, and the way we interact. I just think a little bit more of that. I think some of that is being lost. Stop inflicting themselves. And then I think from, having governments and organizations try to lead by example. But I don't know whether that happens.
All in all,
I'm old enough to know that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it must be.
Because if they wanted to ever stop war, they could have. But there's been war non-stop since this. So do you know what I mean? So
Oh no,
I don't know. It's sad. It is sad, but I think war has become a business. I think that's the tragedy.
Thank you for sharing us your opinion.
Thank you, and thank you for choosing to spend time with us.
Thank you so much. The first question is, where you from?
Germany.
Germany. Oh, how long are you staying in Japan?
1 year.
To study?
Working holiday.
Working holiday. Is it common in Germany to go to somewhere else overseas for the working holiday?
Some people do it. Most people go to Australia, I think. I know a few people who went to Australia and New Zealand, but I decided to come here.
Oh, nice. Why made you do that?
Well, I already speak English, and I thought like Australia is similar culture-wise to Europe, and I thought doing it in Japan would be very interesting, and so far it is. So
Now you're in Hiroshima. Why did you choose to come to Hiroshima?
I think the two biggest things would be here, the atomic bomb dome and the memorial museum, and Miyajima.
Miyajima. Did you go to the museum?
Not yet. I wanted to go there now. I went
okay.
to Miyajima early this morning.
This morning? Oh, how was it?
It was nice. Yeah, like the weather is good, and I think because I went early there weren't that many tourists, so it was very enjoyable, very beautiful.
Nice. Have you seen the atomic dome over there?
Yes, I just came from there pretty much.
Okay.
There was next to it there was a guy. I think he said like when the bomb was dropped, he was like his mother was pregnant with him, so he has like a survivor card, and he was telling people about that and like explaining things.
Is there anything you thought when you look at the atomic dome?
Well, when I came across the bridge and I saw like I'd heard before that like the pilots used the bridge as like a reference point and tried to drop it there, and just seeing that and still that like remnant of the destruction and imagining that this happened right here, and it's a bit difficult to believe or difficult to process, so I think that left a bit of an impression on me.
Do you learn about Hiroshima in school in Germany?
Not much.
Not much.
Like we learned that the atomic bomb was dropped here, but that's about it as far as I remember. No, we did learn about World War II, but in Germany, education about World War II is mostly about Germany and Europe and what happened there, and like the Pacific Theater is kind of an afterthought, I think. So,
do you think the world is peaceful now?
Maybe more peaceful than back then, but like there's still wars going on. There's war in Europe right now. There's wars in many parts of the developing world. I think it's gotten a lot more peaceful, but you couldn't really call the world peace.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Where are you from?
We're from Canada, Toronto, Canada.
Toronto.
Yes.
Oh, nice. I heard so. So this is your first trip to Japan?
My
Yeah.
first trip, her second trip.
Second trip.
Yeah.
So you came to Hiroshima because of this museum.
Yes. Yeah. We really wanted to see
Yeah,
it.
we wanted to see it. Yeah.
Okay. Why? Why do you want to
Because
see?
we read a lot. You learn about it in school growing up, and the history of and World War II, and so we always wanted to see it and see it in person.
You learn about Hiroshima in school in Canada?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
About World War II?
yeah.
Yes, yeah. And the atomic bomb.
What was your impression about Hiroshima compared to before coming?
Oh, that's a great question. It was very powerful. I knew that it would be a very important visit, but you don't anticipate the emotional impact of seeing the A-dome in real life or seeing the paper cranes in real life. There's a guide, Mito, who's a survivor, in utero survivor, and so listening to his stories, it added a personal layer to the facts that we already knew about.
Yeah. Do you think the world is peaceful now?
No,
No.
Definitely room for improvement. Unfortunately. Yeah.
I think there is finally more awareness amongst newer, younger generations about not only wars and international relations, but also climate change and other types of progress in various areas of civilization. And I think that that's hopeful,
Yeah.
but at the moment, no, I don't think that there's peace in it.
Yeah. We can
It's
do
hard to think that right now. Yeah.
I think we can do a lot better,
Yes.
but I am thankful to live in the time that we do now, to have the opportunities to travel and to go to the places and see things. I think if we lived in a different time, we wouldn't have those opportunities, but the world is far from perfect, most certainly. Yeah.
When do you feel peaceful in your ordinary life?
Oh,
We have very busy jobs.
Okay. What
Yeah.
do you do?
He's a radiologist, and
Oh,
I'm an
okay.
emergency physician, so we have very busy, stressful jobs.
we work in the hospital all
Yeah.
the time, so
So for us,
Wow.
peaceful is coming on vacation a lot of the
yeah,
time.
traveling,
Yeah.
experiencing a different culture, going somewhere new, relaxing. Yeah.
How do you think we can make the world more peaceful?
I think it'd be very difficult to achieve a world with absolutely no conflict. It'd be very challenging, but I don't know. Some part of me thinks there's some components of human nature that like to fight with each other over small things that don't matter in the long term. It's unfortunate, but it's hard to say how we can make it better. I think we're heading in the right direction overall. I think education is key.
Education.
More people become, as the world becomes more globalized, we become more dependent on each other. I think that conflict will naturally improve. That's my hope, at least.
Yeah. So what kind of education do you think?
Yeah, just learning about the history, not repeating the mistakes of the history mistakes, and making sure, that you understand other people's perspective as well.
Yeah.
I think providing an appreciation for differences and diversity is a right step,
Yeah.
because before you can achieve agreement and peace, you need to have understanding. So I think educating younger generations and all the efforts to promote diversity, inclusivity, and equity in day-to-day life. I think that's the first step.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
First question is, where are you from?
We're both from Brisbane in Australia.
Oh, why did you come to Hiroshima?
I'm a history teacher,
Oh, okay. Wow,
so
you're a teacher.
it's putting a lot of what we've taught at school, in plain view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you teach about Hiroshima?
We don't teach it in depth. We only do a very sort of small part in one of our units in grade 10 roughly. Yeah. So
Did you go to the Memorial Museum?
we're heading over there next.
Oh, okay.
So we've literally just seen the dome now, and that was to hear about it and then to see it, very different things.
Oh.
So yeah,
How different?
I guess you don't really understand the magnitude of what happened until you can kind of see it for yourself. It just puts things into perspective, and obviously this is years and years later, so to imagine what the destruction would have looked like back when it first happened, I think is pretty pretty devastating.
Yeah, very much the same. It's I've just saying before that I've taught about this for a few years, but I also learned about it when I was about, I'd say about 8 or 10 years old. So I've seen pictures of the dome in books since I was, a little boy. So it's very sort of solemn or somber to see it, there in front of you in real life.
Do you think the world is now peaceful? No. Why do you?
Well, I mean, just take a look what's happening in Eastern Europe. It doesn't seem to me like a lot of people have long memories.
I think you have places where it's peaceful and other places it's not. Like, I don't know. I would like to think that we'll be around to one day see that peace exists in all parts of the world, but I don't know that that's going to happen in our lifetime.
How do you think we can make the world more peaceful?
I don't know how to solve the world's problems. I think respect and tolerance are really important. I think you've got to have respect and understanding for other people and not continue to put yourself first. That will never really have peace. I feel very safe visiting Japan. I love it. Like, everyone is so friendly and welcoming, and everything's beautiful and clean and well respected, and trying to leave it the same for the next person. And
do you agree or disagree with the nuclear country keep having their weapons?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I disagree. I'm not sure I sort of can answer that, but I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't like it. And these days it's more complicated than it was in 1945 or through the Cold War. There's a lot more countries that have it now, so it's troublesome, it's worrisome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.